office cleans once a month, except on months that we do a big.
Oh, look at that guy.
We do 14
Morning.
all together.
How's everybody?
Good morning.
Right now we're down to one, so
We're getting lots of
one
people on.
monthly meetings. There'll be one in Cascade on Tuesday. Wednesday is Wyoming. Thursday is Standell, and you are welcome to go to any of them.
Okay.
And I kind of encourage you to go to, like, switch it up a little bit, because then it gives you opportunity to meet other agents.
Okay.
I typically will be at all of them.
Okay.
Unless something is going on schedule-wise, but typically I'm at all of them. And then we'll do like bagels and coffee and cream cheese when we're back in person. So we haven't had one since, I think, February of last year in person. But they'll go over potential listings, buyer needs, things like that at each of the offices. And then we put that out to publish. So if you're not there, you can look at those notes for all the offices. So we do that, but Rachel and Dave run the meeting. Sometimes other people will share different things, but for the most part, it's Rachel and Dave.
Okay.
And today when you get on, you'll be able to see over here, you'll start to see some of the agents and then their faces and stuff. So you can start to put that.
Sounds good.
I have my, I'm going to put my headphones in just so there's not feedback with us both being honest. So, yeah. And you can use the chat. They'll tell you can use the chat.
Because I can't
Look
find
at that handsome family.
the link.
And right now they're just showing pictures of like different events that we have and some of the agents and stuff like that.
I think the audio is going to get messed up if you don't mute your audio.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Man. So many faces, it's hard to see everybody on the screen at once, but it's good to see all of you. All right, let's get going, and we'll admit people as they come. We keep on getting more joined in, which is great to see because I know it is conference season right now, so we are competing with some conferences, and so I think leverage starts today. Do you mind getting your audio down? Rach and I are actually on separate computers because she's going to have to jump off at a certain point to get on to leverage as well. So here we go. Getting more and more admit. Are you admitting everybody for me? All right, Rach has got the admitting going on. Oh. Give me a thumbs up. Somebody give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Yeah. We got it. We're good. We're rock and roll. Welcome to 2021, everybody. We've been a few weeks in, but this is our first office meeting. It feels like it's been so long, even though, we saw everybody back in December. So great to have you all here. We're super excited about this year. We think we got just a great year ahead of us. So we'll roll right into the meeting. We got lots of stuff to go through, great stuff, again, coming up this year. And we wanted to start out with here comes Rach, she's joining me here.
I can't get my internet working, so even though I was going to jump off, I'm going to come.
There we go.
Join you guys.
We are entering our refresh quarter. So obviously this is a time where we take a little bit of that deep breath. We take a look at the past year, we take a look at the year ahead, and kind of recharge our batteries for the year coming ahead of us. And this year for 2021, our theme, we got a theme this year, so it's new.
We got a theme. First of all, who wants to refresh? Who's ready to refresh for 2021? Raise your hand. Round of applause. Let's refresh for the next year.
Oh, we got close.
But yes,
good.
we have thumbs up. Okay, awesome. Thank you guys. So we do have a theme, like Dave said, so I'll let him go into that theme.
So no agent left behind is what we're looking at this year. And here's what we're talking about when we say no agent left behind. This year is all about getting ready because things are going to open up again. All those people that have been sitting on the sidelines this past year as things open up with the vaccine getting more and more out there, when we get into the spring and the summer months, we get through this winter, we are going to see listings open up, and we don't want any of you to be left behind, missing out on those opportunities that are coming. And so we have some data that we want to share with you so that you know why we're anticipating this. And also you can share it with your sphere, your clients, and give them a sense of where the real estate market is going for 2021. And by all means, when we're going through these, if you have any questions, if you've heard things that help support this, let us all know. The power of like all the minds in this on this Zoom meeting in this room, all the real estate experience. I mean, we really know that's where all the good stuff comes from, is from all of you in the trenches out there. So please feel free to jump in on any of this.
Not feel free. Please
do.
Jump in, because Dave and I don't like to hear ourselves talk all the time. So we need your help in these meetings. Smiles, thumbs ups, contributions. Justin Glover, I saw your smile. Thank you. Sarah Takins, she's got a thumbs up. Appreciate it, guys. We need some enthusiasm from you because Rachel doesn't like Zoom meetings. You know that. I do them, but I don't like them.
So here we go. No agent left behind. These are some quotes from NAR's chief economist, Lawrence Yun, about the year coming forward. So this winter may be one of the best winters for sales activity. Now, we've seen that to be true already. In fact, our offices we've already sold and closed more sales volume this January, actually as of Monday, this January, than we did all of January of 2020, which is incredible because we had a great January last year too. So keep up the great work on that. Also, you guys completely outpaced the market the last 2 weeks in terms of your closings and pendings on new deals out there. So you guys are grabbing more and more market share. So congratulations on that. So that holds true to what he also said about this could be one of the best breakout years that we've seen in a long time. And really what we're looking at is a rise in those existing home sales. And those will be held up both on the back of the record low mortgage rates, which we all know about and have seen for a long time. This work from home trend, giving people more housing opportunities, allow them to move further away from their jobs, as well as we know all those people who were sitting on the sidelines kind of waiting to see where this all shakes out from COVID last year and getting to a little bit more open market, hopefully, as the year continues to go on.
Yeah, and I think it's probably important to talk about the fact that we didn't know. I mean, I was talking to one of our agents yesterday, and we did not know where we were going to go back in March when we were shut down, right? Nobody knew what was going to happen. And I had agents call me and say, hey, Rachel, I don't know if I want to pay for leads. I don't know what I want to do. I'm not sure what's going to happen. And all of you guys just revamped your business. You reached out to your sphere. You did the right activities, and you ended up at the end of this year better than ever. So I just want to applaud you guys for all your hard work. It's truly amazing. And we're talking about no agent left behind today. We're talking about you guys need to ramp up your pipeline right now. refresh your business, make sure you're ready for March so you're not left behind when it comes to listings. But we as an organization, our sole focus and what we're telling staff and what Dave and I are doing and investing every single day is to make sure none of you are left behind. So our theme today is no agent left behind, but that's our theme for the whole year. And that's what we're going to do with every single day, investing in you. Our staff is going to invest in you because we're going to make sure that we provide you with the tools and the resources in order to be successful for this year, because it's going to be a great year. And we care about you and we want the best for you and your businesses. And so that's our sole focus. So if you ever ask staff, what do I do so that I'm not left behind? They should be able to give you a quick answer on what they can be doing to help you in your business where you're at right now. And so all of us are in different stages in our business, but we're training staff to be able to understand where you are with your business and how to help and invest in you so that you can prosper for 2021. So we just want to make sure that you know that, and that's our focus, and that's where we're going in 2021.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Awesome. Sorry to interject really quick. A couple of chats, you guys. Mitch is waiting to be let in. And then can you close your color bar, Dave? Because it's covering part of the slides.
Color bar.
So my mouse, so this is the fun technical.
Oh, it's disappeared on you.
It was here when Rach was logged in on the separate one, and now it has disappeared.
You can make
Okay.
you can make me a co-host if you want me to keep an eye on
Yeah,
everybody.
make her a co-host because we don't know what a color bar is.
Well, I don't know if it'll let me change that. But yay for no agent left behind. I'm all on board.
There we go. Okay, I think got you as a co-host, and we'll see what we can do with the color bar situation. So to that point, so all the stuff that we're sharing on here, so we will share, we're recording the Zoom meeting so we can share it out, the link to it, so you'll be able to check all this later. We'll also share out the presentation, so don't feel like you got to capture a lot of this market information, for example, on this slide here, and we'll talk about the key things for you, but just keep that in mind.
Go to more. Kayla, are you good letting people in?
It's not showing me as a host yet.
Okay, hold on. Let's figure that out.
Well, while she's doing that, I'll keep going on some of these things so that we can fit it all in. So here are some of the details of Lawrence Yune's forecast for 2021. The key thing that we wanted to highlight here is that top one of existing home sales plus 9%, and wanted to put some clarity to you and what that means in our market. And so that's about 2,500 additional transaction sides, and that's about 1 billion in additional sales volume. So it's about 500 million in sales volume, two sides for each transactions, giving us that $1 billion total. So that's the potential new market out there for you to grab, and why we want you to get prepared for this coming throughout the year. Let me ask you a question. Who thinks, and you do it by show of hands, whatever, who thinks we sold more homes in Kent County in 2020 than 2019? With COVID, everything, you got about 50-50 or so. Yeah, it was about like 80 more homes. So, I mean, it was super close, but considering we were shut down for as long as we were, and you guys know how crazy it was once we opened back up. So that's great news. Now imagine us open for a full year and an additional 9% overall sales.
Any questions on that?
Rachel, I have a buyer that lives in Illinois currently, and they are moving to West Michigan to be near family because of what you said about being able to work from home. He's an engineer and she's a graphics person. They can both work remotely, so they're moving from Illinois to here for that reason.
That's great. Now you're going to hear it. Go for a second.
No, just throw your microphone.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, got you in.
Mhm.
Rachel?
Yes.
I did the, my yearly report for Gun Lake. And in both 2018 and 2019, we sold like 48 and 49 homes. And in 2020, it was 61.
Wow.
That's-
That is,
sorry.
sorry guys.
Okay, is that better? Okay.
Other than my color bar, which we'll figure out.
Yeah, thank you, Katie. Thank you for sharing that. Sorry about the technical difficulties. That both you and Brian, that I appreciate you guys sharing those things. That's an amazing testament to the current situation and the fact that people are moving here from other locations. People are working from home more, and we need to revamp our business, and we still need to be encouraged about what's going on. So thank you guys.
All right, and then to not be left behind, obviously we need to take action, and we want to incentivize you guys a little bit to take action. So probably heard some things about it already, but the broker bucks are back for this year. In fact, you've already been earning some broker bucks if you didn't know. And the admin staff is working on a new plan for distribution. They'll be talking to you about it. Maybe they have already. Already or not yet?
They have been starting to talk about it, yeah.
All right. So each one of your office admin will be able to tell you more about the program, when things will be distributed, and we'll continue to grow and improve that program. You're getting broker bucks for just being here today. You'll get some broker bucks for the upcoming regional conference that we're going to talk about in a little bit as well, if you choose to attend there.
So who participated in the broker bucks and has some feedback on that? Like positive feedback. We're going to stay positive today.
It was
I
fun.
participated. I got
Yeah.
a TV. It's in my living room. It's great.
I thought it was a lot of fun. I won 3 items. Well, I guess the biggest value is, well, like $30, and then the client for life and some of those. So it was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
I
Yeah,
love
my favorite
getting,
part was outbidding Justin.
Jake, I love that.
It
I
was
love
great
getting
fun.
Carrie Simmons. I got Carrie Simmons's transaction coordination for 3 deals, and I love it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I like the gamification of it too, because we keep points and stuff for our weekly success habits. So that was another, gamifying, transactions and gamifying what you normally do, so it's just another angle to have fun with it and try to get more sales.
That's great, Kevin. Thank you so much. I like that too. I was talking with an agent yesterday, and they were like, we're all competitive, right? We love competition, and that drives us. And so I think that that's what we want the broker bucks things, or the broker bucks, to be in 2021. We wanted to host that in person, but unfortunately we weren't able to do that this year. Last year, this year we would like to host it in person. And so that's the plan. And we want you guys to start thinking about all the activities that you can be doing to earn these broker bucks, because we're going to have a huge celebration in January of next year to say, all right, you guys did an awesome job. You earned your right to bid on these items, and we just want to celebrate all your successes for 2021. So please start thinking about those things. Look for opportunities to be able to do that.
All right. Anything else on broker bucks?
I don't know, Kayla, you should probably say something. I can't admit you for some reason, but if you want to say anything about broker bucks, that would be awesome. She was the mastermind behind the whole auction site. She was the one who set it all up, mastermind for all of that. So I think she should say something.
No, I'm just excited. I appreciate everybody who participated, and just want to say that we're always open to feedback and suggestions, and making sure that everyone who has a chance to participate gets a chance. And, you know, we're open to any and all feedback, but it's awesome to hear the positive reviews. And we've streamlined our tracking process and our distribution process. We've added like a voucher that you'll get in the 2-week distribution so that you can be drawn for a raffle prize every month for a $10 gift card. And that's for agents and assistants. So we're freshening it up. We're going to try to keep it top of mind throughout the year because it pays to earn broker bucks, whether it's attending these trainings and getting listings and closings and all that kind of stuff. But no, it's just been really fun to see, and we're excited for another year.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Well, let's go into a few things that are new this year, and you've probably been seeing some of them as we talk about it. So, who needs an additional revenue stream? Everybody needs an additional revenue stream. Yeah, perfect. Love it. All right. And who wants to grow their business a little bit outside of their sphere, to continue to bring people into their sphere?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, good. All right. I'm glad I got yeses on that. Otherwise, we would be a little nervous. So if you haven't started doing this, the Lead Street Director's Cut. So you can see on here, and now I'm saying this, but my color bar is probably covering up the link. There is a host of amazing videos that Ashley Dane has taken the time to go through. All of them are about 20 to 30 minutes about updating your lead street, how you can use it best, how to use your website best to drive additional revenue, drive additional clients through that system. And really, this could be an entire pillar of your business if you go through and take the time to do this. So incredibly valuable, incredibly easy to follow and execute. Obviously, if you need some help with this, we are there to help you out through this process. But really, if you dive into this and go into this Vimeo gallery,
Sorry.
Go back once. There we go. You will find just a tremendous amount of, I said it, I got to put $1 in the bucket.
Yeah, you got to put $1 in the bucket. CMN. You're donating to CMN every time you say that.
Right. So evidently I say the word tremendous a lot. So every time I'm trying to stop that, so I got to put $1. I got to put $1 in the bucket. I'm gonna have to make it like $20, Rick, or something, and put it in for CMN. So
what word do you say a lot?
Tremendous, evidently.
Oh, there's another $1.
No. Okay. All right. Well done. Okay. CMN's going to benefit a lot this year. So,
that's a tremendous opportunity for CMN.
Oh.
And here it goes. So
I encourage you all to keep track of how many times he says it so that we can hold him accountable for that.
In the chat, in the hallways, just let the admin know, and they'll track me down. It could be a fun game. So, all right, back on track.
So we're going over Director's Cut.
If you need more help with this, not only can you talk to the staff, we have some other options for you. We'll get to that in a second. But we have seen great results, not the T word there, for the agents who have taken the time to do that. And like I said, very easy to follow, and encourage you to do one a week, find an hour where you can both watch the video for the first 20 minutes and then implement it. And before you know it, you'll be done with the whole series. And you'll only be, 10 weeks into the year, have a majority of the year left to go where you're taking advantage of all those.
Or did you tell them where to find it?
Where do we find it?
Okay. So if you go,
the link, I gave them a link.
Okay, we're giving you a link. If you also get an email every Wednesday from ReMax of Michigan from Ashley Dane. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom of that email, you can click on the link, and we'll send it out afterwards too. But we're real estate agents. We need multiple places to find things. So you click on that link and then you get all the videos. However, for those of you who want to stick to the dollar producing activities, which I hope all of you do, Christy knows how to set this up for you. So if you'd like to simplify it and not listen to all the videos, or understand how to do all the back end of it, please reach out to Christy. She will be able to sit with you, set a time, and set that up for you. It's our job to help support you and help grow your business and not leave you behind. So one of those ways we're going to do that is we're going to train staff to be able to support you through that process. And we'd like you guys to update your stuff, update your website, and be able to get new lead sources through this opportunity that you're already paying for through your investment and being with ReMax. So.
Perfect. All right. Now, if you're using tech to create more revenue, sometimes, like Rachel's mentioned, you might need a little extra tech help. So that could come from the staff here. There also is now 2 opportunities, and I'll read this to you because I can see on your screen what I got covered up. For ReMax Tech workshops, that we're calling them, but this is a live person that you can go and hop on a Zoom meeting with. They are there from these times. And so if you're a new to ReMax person, not necessarily a new agent, but just new to ReMax, want to know more about our systems, have questions about our systems, every Wednesday from 11 to 11:30, you can hop on a Zoom meeting with a live tech expert who actually helped create all of our systems and processes, to ask them any questions that you would like. As well as then the Tech Assist workshop, no registration required, 10 to 10:30 a.m. every Thursday. Now, where do you find the links for these? You'll just go to your maxtech.me, and in there's a calendar tab. And on the calendar, you'll find a link to, for the Wednesday and for the Thursday, you'll find a link to these, and you can jump in, talk with that person direct, show them what you're trying to do, talk to them about what you're trying to do, and they will walk you through it personally.
I think the coolest thing about this whole thing is that they will actually, tech support will actually take you, if you have a question, they'll take you into your own, what is it called when they do that on Zoom, where they take you into your own room, but they'll take you into your own room and they'll work one-on-one with you as an agent. So
a breakout
session. Yeah, breakout session. So if you're having a problem with something on Lead Street, if you're having a problem with something on MaxTech, you can go right on during that time frame and you can get one-on-one support from ReMax and who's developing those resources for you in order to work with you to make something so easy and streamline things. And so a lot of you guys have been asking, like, how do I do this? How do I do this? I don't want to go through the steps. This is a way for them to help you do it one-on-one, right when you need it, during that time. So please use that as a resource, because I think it will help build your business and it will help streamline things and keep you focused on the most important things.
Absolutely. Okay, great.
Any questions? Thoughts? Who's excited about tech support?
Very excited.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah.
Dave and I need it, so we hope that some of you guys benefit from it.
Yeah, they can fix all the problems I'm having already. Okay, good deal. Oh, look at that. Amazing. Mouse is back. Okay, now the most thrilling part of the entire meeting. Some COVID updates. What everybody comes to love and enjoy as we continue to talk about this and how we go through. So we'll go through it as quickly as we possibly can. So first, we're just doing a few office reminders. So still and there was a email sent out on Monday that just kind of summarized all of this, and actually you'll find all the information in the next few slides in that email that came out from Rachel around like 2 o'clock on Monday.
Monday an email came out, but last week, Wednesday or Thursday, we put something on the Inside Scoop, so you can reference it there. As much as you guys are sick of the COVID stuff, I don't like it. I know you guys don't like it, but it is the reality that we're living in, so we're going to do what we can to make the best out of it. So if you need to reference the COVID new restrictions or whatever, you can go to the email that came out on Monday, or you can go to Julie Rietberg sent an email through Garar with the latest updates from MR. But I have been getting a lot of questions about it, and I think Dave has as well. So if you have questions, again, we're talking about positive questions. So questions that are gonna push us forward, not negative, we don't like this, because I've already stated that. Let's talk about those right now if anybody has any questions about what you can and cannot do and where we as ReMax of Grand Rapids are going forward with the COVID updates. Any questions, thoughts?
Maybe some clarity on open houses and exactly how we can run them and if we can run them.
That's a great question, Kevin. So
do we script that? Where you did?
Yeah, I think you just we asked Kevin to ask that question before. No, I'm just kidding. So open houses are allowable as long as they're done in a fashion that is not normal to what we consider open houses to be. And what that means is that, in my opinion, per what I've been reading from Michigan Realtors attorneys, as well as the health department here, we can host open houses as long as we do it per appointment only. So 2 households means Rachel and Dave are 1 household. Buyer Jody Ribbons is the 2nd household. She comes through and we make sure no other households come through at the time. So creative ways to do that would be to do a sign-up sheet when you advertise your open houses, or put a stop and go sign like we talked about before on the door, where you say, all right, here's a notification that there's 2 households in here already. Please wait in your car until the go sign gets changed on the front door. And so some of you guys work with builders a lot, and you're like, I do not like the fact that I can't host open houses because my builder really wants me to hold those open. Do it, but do it safely and make sure you advertise. Doesn't mean that somebody is going to or not going to complain. There might be somebody who's going to complain, but as long as you're following compliance, I need you guys to get out there and get some business. And so let's figure out creative ways to be able to do things with following the restrictions that are in place. And if that means we need to do stop and go signs, and you open the door as soon as that 2nd household leaves, and you still have the next potential client come through the door, then I think you should do it. That's my advice. And you got to do it with masks, and you got to do it according to whatever your seller's comfortable with. Those are the caveats to that, but do them. Go out there and get it.
I had really good success in the fall doing open houses with a table set up outside and yard games for people to wait and play yard games while they're waiting to go through the house, one family.
I love that idea, Sarah.
And that family was done. And then also one rainy day, I just waited in the entryway, and then as each family came through, I greeted them outside the door, let them walk through the home while I stayed outside, and then waited for the next family, and that worked really well too. So I think that's how I'm going to do my winter ones. I'll just be ready at the door and wait for people to come to the door, and then wait outside for them as they walk through.
I love that idea. Thank you, Sarah. And I think if you find a buddy in the office, you can do it too. Like, you can have one agent sit outside and communicate with the potential client that comes up, and welcome them, and then have another agent inside nurturing that lead. So I think that's a great idea. Thank you.
Just to the open house says you already have 2 then. 2 households.
Love it.
We have 1 person's outside. I'm picturing like the deli counter now serving sign, and you pick a tag, a number.
Yeah, that's great.
There you go.
Anybody else have any creative ideas or questions about COVID?
I just had a question about like field services and stuff. Are you guys still going to do training for that, or is that going to still be a resource for like experienced agents to use, new agents and that kind of thing?
Field services is still running, Tim. So thank you for asking that. So we are still running that, and that is still a resource for you. Tim, if you want to sign up, or if anybody else in the organization wants to sign up, please reach out to Carrie. She can give you details about field services right now. So thank you.
Yeah.
Aaron?
Oh, can't hear you, Aaron. Oh, it doesn't look like he's on mute, though. Maybe in the chat.
Can you guys hear Aaron?
No. Okay.
No.
All right. Maybe drop it in the chat, Aaron, if you can hear us, and we'll try to catch up with you on that. There are a couple other COVID updates. We won't go through all of these in complete details. They're in the email, like we mentioned, but we wanted them in this presentation so that when we share this out afterwards, you guys can reference this too if for some reason you can't find the original email, but both containing to practices with sellers permitting showings. Not a lot of change around that from what we've been seeing in the past, but we just wanted, again, some reminders out there, as well as for practices for buyers during the showings.
So those are up on the slides, and you guys can read those when you get the slides afterwards. So, but when it comes to office activity, we are still asking everybody to wear masks if you are able to wear a mask. And the reason we're doing that is because we want to stay open. We want you guys to still continue to do business. I don't like masks. I'm sure most of you don't, although Dave said he's had less colds this year. And so he likes
0.
He likes masks, but no, we're just kidding. Masks are not fun, but we do need to still respect the people around us, respect the people that are at risk for getting COVID, and we do need to wear masks in the office. So we respectfully ask that you continue to wear masks when you're in the public areas in our offices. We are now, thank goodness, able to open up some small trainings in person as long as we're 6 feet distancing. And that came out last week. And we will start to introduce some in-person trainings now, some in-person opportunities again, now that we are able to do that per state law. And so I appreciate you guys being patient with all of that, but we are going to start to be able to have some more opportunities to be together in a more normal way with masks, 6 feet distancing, and hopefully with the vaccines and everything that's going on with that, we will eventually get back to normal very soon. So just wanted to let you know that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and we're going to get back together again. So.
And client meetings too. So the client can come into the office as long as it's still
Clients can come.
that 2 household rule.
The offices are open for client meetings as long as you're doing the 2 household rule.
Great. Any other questions? Good questions so far. We appreciate that.
There are some questions in the chat window, Dave.
Oh.
If you want to take a look at those.
And on that.
One was somebody was asking about what is field services?
Oh, great. So field services is a program where if you need help from another licensed agent, say you're out of town, you get one away for the weekend, you email field services at remaxgrmi.com, and another agent will respond, being willing to help you out and cover that. There's a small fee involved, and it's all predetermined, and they've been trained to represent you in front of their client. They'll contact you, find out the details, and then go and help you out from there.
Another question was from Aaron Daigle, that if a buyer comes through and wants to walk through with their agent making a third household, what would be the best practice?
But at that point, you as the agent would need to step out, right, in order to make it 2 households. If somebody came to your open house with their agent.
Technically, yes. Technically, you would have to be out of the house. So I think that the important thing to know is that although that seems like it'd be minimal risk, and if everybody's wearing masks and 6 feet distancing, the problem comes if somebody complains. So yes, technically per the law, state law, you would have to step out of the house, and you could not have all 3 in the residential home at the same time. And there's liability with that, obviously, too, if something were to happen. And so
Stand outside and look through the window like a creeper.
that's right. That's right. Take them through in shifts,
I'm watching.
right? Shifts. Like, I'll take one person through, and then I'll take the second house. Good question.
All right, and then there's one more question from Kelly. Will you be requiring agents to obtain the COVID vaccine?
No. Absolutely not.
Rachel, I have a question. Right now I have a family that's moved out of their house. They're living with their parents. They have been for a little bit. And they all go to the showings together because they do want to have input from the parents. Is that okay? I mean, it's one household. It looks odd, maybe, but is that allowable?
They all live in the same household?
Yep.
In my mind, they live in the same household. They live in the same household.
I kind of get looks, but it's like I haven't stopped to explain myself to each one, but okay.
Yep. Most of the things that we need to do right now is just go with our gut, because everything's so vague. It's hard to understand. Just go with your gut, with what feels safe, and yeah. And I don't want anybody to get in trouble. I don't want the brokerage to get in trouble. But we're in a weird time where there's things that are sort of vague. And so we just need to go with our gut a little bit. Good question.
Okay. All right. Enough on COVID. Next thrilling topic, which we will go through quickly because we know you all don't want to spend a ton of time, but we do know it's important, on forms updates. All right, super exciting. But we do want you to all just be informed of it so that nobody gets dinged. There's no issues with, minimal issues with the MLS and GRAR, so that you guys are aware of these changes and can not have to deal with any repercussions. So now they also sent out an update if you haven't read through it. So we're going to give you the paraphrase version, the Cliff Notes. You can obviously read GRAR's entire email, the forms committee entire email of all the justifications, the reasons why they're changing this. We don't have any bearing on why they've changed it. They give their reasons, and then we receive them, and then we do the best we can with them moving forward. So the first one has to do with requests for showings and the presentations of offers. So this all has to do with if you're delaying showings, if you're delaying to show offers or present offers to the seller, and having this filled out by the seller for having the proper instructions and documentation, because obviously due to our code of ethics, we're supposed to be submitting offers in the most timely manner possible, right? But if we are being told by the seller, by this document, to hold all offers until a certain time and date, there's language in here that helps explain that, and also language that you would need to include on your listing card so that other agents know that you're holding those offers back. And the key thing too is, if that's what's selected, you should not be looking or showing those offers to your clients up until that time frame. That's going to get you in trouble. And that's why this document is here as well.
Correct. So now we used to be able to just disclose on the MLS in agent remarks and in client or in customer comments that we were not presenting offers until X date. I'm sure you guys have all been in a position where an agent has said they're not presenting or offers to be presented by X date. Well, the problem is when agents were putting that in there, sometimes there were circumstances where they were actually presenting and accepting an offer prior to that time frame, right? And so that was frustrating for every one of us who has been in that situation, and very frustrating for that potential buyer, right? And when that circumstance happens, then you as an agent, as much as you're trying to be honest and upfront with them, the client is concerned that you're not telling them, or you feel like the client is concerned that you're not telling them all the information. So what GRAR did was they said, all right, here's this danger zone. And Pam Van Leuven sent out a document, which I think was in the Monday message. If not, it'll be in the follow-up meetings from this meeting, that just says, here's where there is a danger zone. Here's where we're in a spot where we're opening ourselves up to repercussions. And so they created this addendum. The addendum needs to be submitted. And I think Kristen Ruther asked me about this a couple weeks ago. I know that they were talking about having this addendum back in August. I didn't know that they were starting to require it until now, but they are requiring it now. So if you are going to delay presentations of offers with the seller, with the seller's consent, you still need to acknowledge that in the consumer remarks, in the agent remarks, I would say in your showing time remarks, and then you also have to have that delayed presentation of offer addendum signed. I hate to add an additional document for you, but that is the reality of things. We have to put that addendum in our listing when we put it on the MLS, and it has to be signed by the seller. So no more just agent remarks. And the idea is to just make sure that when agents are using vague commentary in their agent remarks that just says offers will be presented by X date, that it's going to help us all who've been in the position of presenting an offer after or at that time, and then not getting it because that agent was actually accepting an offer earlier than that. It will just clarify that language. So Tim, I think you have something to say if you want to.
Yeah, basically everybody needs to know that GRAR is watching this. If you're going to use that form, you have to stand by that form. And if you don't, grievance, the last pro standards meeting that I was at, we sent 5 cases through that were brought to us by grievance regarding this one situation alone. So they are pushing those through. So just be very mindful. If you're going to use it, you need to stick by it. A best practice that I've incorporated in a situation like that is I personally don't even look at the offers when they come in until we're going to be presenting them. Because agents are going to pepper you with questions. They're going to ask if you've seen this, and if you have a standard answer, and it's the truth, that you did not even look at the offers, that is what I would recommend you try to do. Also, if you're not going to use the form, have a clear and understandable way how you are going to manage that. How are you going to manage multiple offers if you don't use this form? You know, I think we can all deal with whatever comes as long as we understand what we're getting into. And if you're telling this agent, oh, I'm going to handle it this way, and the next guy calls and you go, boy, this is getting bigger than I think, I'm going to do it a different way. Well, just make sure you're consistent with all of that, and I don't think we'll have any problems.
That's awesome. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate that. I think Wendy said, what if the seller decides to delay the presentation of offers after the listing goes live, i.e. 3 days into the listing? I'm showing a home tonight that states that the listing comments that the seller may decide to go to the highest and best depending on how many offers they receive. So I feel like that's a gray area in my opinion. I think we probably need to be just upfront with what the plan is. And I know that if that agent is saying that they're trying to be transparent, that may happen. But in my opinion, you have to have the delayed addendum right up front, make that plan, be transparent. And if we get into a situation, say 2 offers come in right at the same time and you have that delayed addendum in place, then as long as you're communicating to those 2 agents that in a timely manner, not like 3 days later, like I'm going to answer in the next couple hours, or I'm going to answer that day at this time, that's okay. But when it comes to like, I've got a lot of interest, I didn't put the delayed addendum in place, and now I want to put 3 days on it, that's not okay. It's got to be, I got a couple people that might write an offer, I'm going to answer by this time. And as long as we're doing that in a way that's respectful and cooperating with the other agents in the industry, then that probably isn't a problem. But when we start to play games, we're in a bad spot.
So, hey, Rachel.
Yes.
Well, going back to your example of getting 2 offers at the same time, if we don't use the addendum and we do get multiple offers at the same time, we can still call for highest and best without that addendum, correct? Because of the multiple offers?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just want to confirm.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. You can do that. You just can't do, oh, now I'm going to do 3 days later.
Yeah, makes sense.
Perfect. Great questions. We appreciate it. And if you have more that pop up, by all means, reach out and we'll help talk through it. Okay, couple other things. So good news, purchase agreement, very, very minor. So there is a small change on well and septic. Just you can see it there. Instead of the seller will have septic tanks pumped at seller's expense, seller will have tanks pumped unless qualified inspector determines in writing that pumping is not necessary. Okay, amazing. We can move on from that one.
Anyone have any? No, that's probably going to cause questions.
Okay.
Anybody have any questions on that?
Keep in mind that in Ottawa County, the only person who can do the septic and well inspections is the county themselves. So keep that in mind when you're working in Ottawa County.
It's a great point as well.
And we've had a lot of questions over the last year when they changed that well and septic paragraph. So I think this is a way to shore that up so that we don't have as many questions about who's responsible for paying for it, when it's responsible to be done and not be done. So I think it's a good change.
So it still is a seller's expense, correct?
It's a seller's expense. Yes.
It is interesting that they removed that part. All right, next one on the property survey, just really quick change of the boundary survey certified to buyer. They removed that section.
Minor detail, it just didn't make, it caused confusion. The certified to buyer didn't really ever make sense. And so it still says that the buyer will receive a boundary survey, but it really certified to buyer really doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no clarification on what that meant.
Yeah.
Perfect. We're firing through this now. Now, the next two, we are not going to read through these, but we want you to know and be aware of them because this first one with the condominium addendum. So this is a totally new form. So RAR encourages everybody to take the time to read through this to understand everything on this document when dealing with condominiums.
I personally love it because I've always been teaching agents, like, write in other provisions that you need to have a copy of the bylaws, that you need to look at the financials, that you need to do all these different things. And this document right here, although it's another document that you have to get signed with the PA, I think it really does substantiate what we need to clarify when we're selling a condo to a buyer, because they should have the rights to see all these things, and it will avoid issues at the end of the transaction or near the end of the transaction where people are like, well, I don't know what the bylaws are, right? And so this makes sure that your buyer has the ability to review all the information about that condo right away at the beginning. So
Rachel, I handed this to my seller for the condo that's up right now, and it was so nice to be like, get all this for me. And like, I'm gonna need it. Please get all this for me right now before we even listed. So it was a great resource to provide for a seller even.
that's a really good point. I didn't even think about that. That's a really good point, Sarah, to have that up front to just make sure that the seller has those things. Thank you.
Hey, Rachel, is there in that paragraph 1, not later than so many business days, is there a standard practice you want us to be using for business days for the clients?
For them to get that?
Yeah, like no later than 3 business days, no later than 5 business days. Because obviously there could be some condo companies that aren't going to be responsive. So
Yeah, see, and that's where the problem is going to come in. Tim, did you have something to say? I saw you shaking your head.
Yes, state law, Michigan State has one of the nicest condominium acts out of all the continental United States. And it requires that within 9 business days that a buyer be given those documents. So there's a 9-day window there by state law.
Thank you, Tim. That's great. And I personally feel like with the climate that we're in, we're probably going to want to ask or try to get that sooner when you're writing a competitive offer. If it's a situation where you're not competing, 9 days is fine. Give them as much time as you can. But if you're competing, you may want to shore that up a little bit so that the seller knows, hey, they're serious, they're vested.
You could remove that language in the purchase agreement if you've given the buyer the documents in advance to writing an offer. You could remove that right then and there.
Absolutely.
That's a good point.
That's really smart.
and I know that, you know, if I read correctly the email when this notification came out, this is an optional form, but as a brokerage, you want us to make sure we're using it for all condos. Is that correct?
It's totally an optional form. We are not requiring it. All I'm saying is it makes your job a little bit easier instead of having to write that out and think
absolutely.
about all the details in your other provisions. It's just a nice thing to have. Good question. Thanks, Rick.
Good question. So that's the next 3 slides. And then the final form we're there, has to do for tenants. And again, this is an optional form, but it does help clarify the things around the lease and it's really a protection for that buyer of a potential rental property where there's already a lease in place with somebody. And again, it adds clarification to that, all the terms. So if anything does come up afterwards, after that sale is complete too, this is in place and helps add clarification that those communications that happened about what's going on with the lease situation.
And I think that's even more important. I don't know what's going to happen with the new administration and the requirements for COVID with leases. I think that's probably going to be something that we're dealing with as real estate agents, like tenants not having to get out by stating COVID. So just having additional forms in place for those leases is probably good to clarify that when you're dealing with a property where a buyer wants to purchase something and they want to move into that property and there's a tenant, or if they're wanting to get rid of those tenants and buy it as a rental and move new tenants in. Does that make sense?
Okay. Perfect. We did it. We survived the forums discussion. Great. I give everybody a round of applause for that. Survived forms and COVID. Amazing.
All right. You're just look in your emails. The GRAR West group is going to be doing some Zoom meetings, going over all of the forms. They've recruited myself and Henry Steffs to do that by Zoom meeting. So they'll be announcing when they're going to do that.
Great.
You put that in the chat or in my email?
What's that?
You put that in the chat or in my email?
No, they're going to be sending out email notifications to everybody. GRAR will be sending them out.
Okay, perfect.
It'll be under the GRAR West chapter that they're doing that. So
Perfect.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Tim.
Love it. All right, we are coming to the end here, so we just have a couple more things to go through, and RC 2021, so the regional conference. Obviously a little different this year, but we still want to get you involved in this event. It's going to be fantastic. It's now one day on February 5th. You can register here. Lots of you have registered already at rc2021.com. There is no registration fee for this event, so you can get involved and access all the great information that's on there. I'm going to highlight just a couple of the speakers. I think we got quite a few people registered already. Raise your hand if you're registered. Yeah, love to see it. Love to see it. And then peer pressure all the rest of your agents into joining you. That would be great for us. So speakers. So it's a 3-speaker lineup, all of them fantastic. So Devin Henderson is going to talk about something greater is always possible, and really talk about that mindset, and making sure that you're not limiting yourself with your mindset there. If social and social media is a big part or one of your business revenue sources moving forward, you're definitely going to want to check out Barb Betts for social selling. She is a real estate agent and been incredibly successful using this plan. So here's somebody who, again, who's in the trenches, doing it, active. She's one of us. It's not somebody who's going to give you a bunch of stuff that they've never done themselves. So she's going to be a great speaker at 1. And then Jason Hewlett, who is a leadership expert. And so a great person in the afternoon to really finish us up. And he gives a very unique presentation style, which is very, very entertaining. So don't miss that at 3:30. So
2
till 3:30. Now, we've talked about broker bucks to incentivize. So we are going to be, if you're already registered, you got broker bucks coming. If you haven't registered, please do, and we'll get those broker bucks to you. So we're offering up 5 broker bucks for all those who register for this and attend. I guess I should clarify that, and attend the event and check out these speakers on Friday, February 5th. So they'll be talking during the day. But that's not all. There will still be, for all of those club level award winners and different career awards, there is a virtual awards ceremony from 7 to 9 p.m. that evening. And so we highly recommend you get in there, enjoy that, be recognized, be celebrated, earn your broker bucks, learn some things for your business moving forward. And do you have anything else to add to that?
I do.
Yeah, she does.
I always do.
I thought she might.
So club levels. One of the best things about our year is always to see those folks that have earned club levels. If you don't know what a club level is, ReMax gives you some club levels, and they're based on the your performance during the year, your sales volume. And we had 63 of our agents, I think, meet club levels this year, which is amazing. So congratulations to all of you guys. And it's really fun because we always get to go somewhere fun and dress up, and the people that earn those awards get to walk across the stage and get recognized by ReMax of Michigan for their accomplishments. So I'm almost going to be in tears because we can't do that, because it's such just a really awesome part of my year. But anyways, so we can't do that this year in person. Next year, we're going to be there, guys. And so I want you guys to work really hard to get to those levels and come to that event, because it really is a special event. And you guys all work hard. So this year we're going to do virtual with Mike Metzner and the ReMax of Michigan team. They feel terrible also that we can't do it in person, but they're going to try to make it as special as possible. But for those of you who did earn club levels, we are going to try to recognize you in a safe way the night before. So stay tuned for more information for the club level winners. You will be receiving an invite to invite you to come to the Wyoming office with your spouses if you want, or your significant others, or if you want to come alone, that's fine too. But we've got some special things planned for that evening so that you guys can get a photo with your awards and you can still feel like you got recognized in public for what you achieved this year. And so we want to do it in a way that might be a little bit different, but still says, you guys are awesome, well done, and we're thankful for all the hard work that you had. So stay tuned for that. And then on that note, company calendar.
Yeah, because we're a couple minutes over.
Megan almost killed me this year because we didn't have the company calendar out by January 1st. We always have the company calendar out by the 1st of January. We didn't this year because we were waiting on a lot of COVID stuff. And so we do now have all the dates from ReMax of Michigan, and we have the company calendar already in front of you, other than obviously there's trainings and all sorts of other things in between these major events.
Yeah,
but
these
are the major events, and we hope that they stick with those dates, barring any changes. With restrictions here in Michigan, this is where our major events are going to be, and we want to encourage you guys to take a look at this, to plug them into your calendar, and to be there, because we're going to do whatever we can to be in person as much as possible. Some stuff might be virtual because sometimes that's easier for some of you. But these are the dates, and we're gonna look forward to Christmas parties and golf outings and tech talks and all sorts of other exciting things this year, so that we can get things back to normal. So
all broker buck opportunities.
All broker buck
Yeah.
opportunities, right. So the most pressing one is probably the next event, which is in February on 2/23, February 23, and that is our refresh event. So look for that along with the RC21, and we will look forward to seeing you guys again soon.
I have one thing I'd like to bring up. Dave, how many people did you add to our company this year?
There was 26 agents came on board last year. 60.
Wow.
60, almost 70% of those came over from other companies. Some were team members that joined and were new in the industry, things like that. But yeah, so things are great.
Wow. I got to tell everybody, years and years and years ago in a past lifetime, I was a ReMax broker. And one of the hardest things my older brother and I struggled with was recruiting agents. If you guys think getting listings in 2020 was difficult, just imagine what it was like trying to convince a real estate agent to switch companies in 2020. This, you guys, is a huge, huge, huge number. And Mr. Dave Velkamp and those who assisted him with that deserve a great big round of applause. I am not kidding you. That is huge.
Well, you guys
I'm
make it
so
easy.
proud of you,
Get a great
Dave. I'm
reputation
so
for
proud.
yourself.
Thank you,
proud.
Tim. Yes, I am proud of him too, and I'm proud of all the staff who's assisted with that. So
Yeah, it's a
well
team effort.
done.
Absolutely. And you guys make it easy because you have a stellar reputation out there. You can't imagine all the good things I hear when I talk to agents, and I talk to a lot of them. So thank you for that.
I
Appreciate
actually
it.
told him to put that on the agenda for today, but he didn't. That's his humble self saying.
I was going to make sure I mentioned it.
Thank you,
That's
Tim.
a
But-
tremendous job, Dave. Tremendous. Now, how
Tremendous
many total
job.
agents do we have with the brokerage now?
We're at 116.
Okay.
So yeah, it's great.
And welcome to all you new folks who have
Yes,
come.
welcome to all the new agents.
We love you all and want to see you in person.
Yes.
So,
That's been the toughest part.
so yeah, thank you for believing in us, and cheers to 2021.
Yeah, and since we have all those numbers and 40 plus of you on right now, it's kind of hard to do like buyers or sellers needs. So if you want to email those out to Megan too, if you have certain things, upcoming listings, things you want to share like that, we can get that out to the group. But that's probably the most efficient way to do that, just given the amount of people on board here, and send them to Megan probably.
Send your buyers and seller needs to Megan. It probably won't be out because she's out for this week and next week, but it won't be out, but she can forward it on to me and I will get it out to one of the other staff members to send it out on the inside or on MaxTech, sorry. So
perfect.
You guys are awesome. We're so thankful for each one of you and we are so excited for 2021. So just keep up the good work and we will see you at RC21.
Thanks everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for being
Take
with us
care.
a little bit longer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.